Hi everyone, and welcome to the last part in building our Task Manager app. So this is part 3 of 3. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're just going to fix some stuff up. So if we go to login, and we log in with our username and password, what you'll see is our dashboard page with create tasks, view tasks, and log out. Now what I want us to do is just clean this up so we have a navigation bar that we can click on, not click on these links here. Also, we're going to do some changes. We're going to change the title here, of course, of this HTML page. And as you can see, we really need an navbar. And we'll also, of course, change this. And we're going to have like a nice looking sort of button here for update task and delete task. So let's get straight to it. So let's log out. And let's start doing it. So I have base.html. And here I'm going to paste in a navigation bar. So I don't want to manually go in, let's see what we have here. I don't want to manually go and create task, dashboard, delete task, update task, and view task manually. Instead, I'm going to go in base.html and go ahead and just simply add in our navigation bar once. Okay. So what I'm going to do is just go ahead and use index.html for inspiration. And just copy this entire navigation bar that we have here. Okay, which I'm then going to just paste here, like so in base. So what's going to happen is, I just want to double check where we see, I'm going to then remove where base.html is. It shouldn't be on any of the main pages. So that includes register and my login. And index, of course, we can actually take it out from index, or it's going to show double. Index.html, because there is already a navbar. Okay, that should be fine. And technically now under create task, we should have it on the dashboard. We'll have it inherited. Delete task, we'll have it inherited everywhere because we included it earlier on. So let's now close all of this up. Keep our base there. So let's have a look if base has been inherited in all our files. So let's have a look. All right, so let's log in. And just log in with your username and password. Okay, now we can see we have our navbar that's been inherited. Obviously, we need to switch this out for register and login. We need to change that up. But we can see it's everywhere. And at least this gives us a chance now to go back to where we were before. Okay, this is great. Okay, so let's do some changes here. So what I'm going to do is simply go ahead and start off with a dashboard. Okay, so we have our dashboard here, and let's see what we see. Okay, so taskly, register, login. So let's go to base. So let's see what are properties here. All right, so we can see we have register and login as buttons. Okay, and these are all buttons here. But let's see what we can do if we just change this up a bit. So I'm going to keep this as, I'm going to say user logout. So this is going to be for logging out, which is fine. And then what I'm going to do is I'm simply going to move this navbar bar, all these elements, okay, just a little bit closer. So let's do that. Right, so to make these elements move more to the left, we can say ML. It's going to move to the left. So if we refresh, okay, that looks better. Now we can just simply go ahead, and we have our buttons here already defined, and we can just replace, of course, our route here and where we're routing to. So first in front, I want to have dashboard. Okay, now we can use our under to do our urls.py file here to look up our routes. Now we're just going to, the good thing here about template inheritance is we only need to change this base.html file here, okay, and this change will be seen on all of our HTML pages. So we don't need to worry about individually going and creating a navigation bar in each of these files. That's the great thing. So we make one navigation bar here, and that will be inherited. So we can put dashboard here. Dashboard, great. So let's just see if it's going to work. Okay, great. So we have dashboard. Let's see what we have next. We'll of course have create task. So let's go ahead and do that. So here we can switch log out just for now, and we can say create task. And here will be create task. Great. And now all I'm going to do is just copy what I've done here. And we'll do it a few times. Okay, let's do 3 for now. Okay, next we would have, I believe, view tasks. Okay, we can have view tasks. So we can switch the URL here, the route tasks. And here I'm going to say view tasks. Perfect. Okay, let's see what's next. We will have in the route. Okay, update task. Okay, that won't be appropriate. Delete task. Okay, that won't be appropriate. And user, we can have user logout. So let's go there. And here we can just say user logout. Because remember, to update and delete a task, you specifically need to click on the link that is under view tasks to do that. So that's it, user logout. So I'll just change this here. User logout. There we go. Okay, there is a double there, so we can remove the last double. And let's remove this last one here. There we go. So we have everything here set and ready. So let's log out now. Log in. And double check that this is working okay. Okay, there we go. We have our buttons already. Now we have a bit of space there between create task and view task. We have a double. So just, on your own, just, make this look nice for yourself. And we can also go ahead and actually change the colors of these buttons. So these, of course, are all Bootstrap related. So we can see we have primary, all set to primary. Now, in Bootstrap, we will usually have primary, and then I believe we will have a danger, we will have success, info, and I think there's one more, I'm not too sure. But for example, if I put here danger, for example, you'll see it will change the color. And what you can also do is you can set your button in Bootstrap to just have like an outline. So for example, you'll have the outline now of the color. So it will show the outline, and when you hover over it, it will show that color. Okay, so what I'm going to do is just play around with these. Okay, I'm going to say that, let's see. So let's go ahead and do outlines here. So I prefer to just have outlines for most of these. Okay, there we go. And user logout, I'm going to have as danger, outline danger. Okay, there we go. So that looks a little better. Okay, so let's test them. All right, these all work. Okay, so we're on the view tasks here, and I just want to take away that heading. So if we go to view tasks, we don't need that heading anymore. Okay, this is fine. And there we go. So that looks a bit better. Actually, what we can do, let's put it back for a second. Yeah, actually, it's not that bad, actually. We can actually do that. We can actually move this heading now to create task. It's better than I saw, actually. Put it underneath. Let's see where we put view tasks. We put it, yeah, we should put it at top. So let's see. All right, let's change the text. Create a task. Okay. Okay, we might need to have a space there just below it. Let's put a nice space there. View tasks. I can say view tasks instead of my tasks. So we all link up here. So proper naming convention. I have a double here, it seems. Let's see, view tasks. Let's just double check here. Okay, that seems okay. Let's just take a space away from view tasks. Let's see it now. And then from create task, I think I know why. It's specifically because I didn't add, I'll have a look now, it's because, yeah, okay, it's because I didn't add this margin here. So if I add that margin to create task here, if I just put it here, that should be, yeah, that will be separate. Sorry guys, just fixing some stuff here on my end. So I'll just move that like so. So it should be equal now. Yes, okay, so that was the issue here. So I needed to add the margin top here. That's why it was just slightly off par there. Okay, perfect. So we have everything here ready to go. Now with our dashboard page here, we can also choose to click on the links this way or this way. But what I want to do is actually remove that from dashboard. So we can go ahead and do that. So I'm going to go to dashboard and I can remove all these links. And what we can do here is just put a paragraph tag saying, welcome to your personal task manager application. So you can add anything that you want. So this is just a simple message to notify us of what this is. So welcome to your personal task manager application called Taskly. Actually, let's actually make it interesting. So welcome to Taskly, your personal task manager application. We can actually put a breakpoint there. Okay, capitalize that. And there we go, that should be okay. Yep, welcome to Taskly, your personal task manager application. Great. Okay, I can actually take away, this is a dashboard page. We are aware of what this is. Let's clean that up. Okay, there we go. I can actually put it back and just replace it with Taskly. Set that to H2. There we go. Okay, that looks better. Okay, so now that our dashboard is set, create task, view tasks, and log out. Now, what we want to do is also change this title here. So we would go to HTML under here and just put title. And in this case, it will be dashboard. So you'll see if we just put in tags here under the header tag title and we refresh, we'll see the title looks more appropriate now. And what I like to usually do is just put the web application name and then put one of these symbols here just to separate it out a bit. Now we can just simply copy this over to our other files. So we'll have create task. Okay, and you just want to move that over and you can just switch it now to create task. Create task, perfect. Now we can go to delete task. Okay, so let's clean this up here. Great, we'll have update task. And then we'll also move this over to our main HTML templates, which are just before we log in. So register, index.html, and so on. And we have view tasks. Great, so let's close these up. So you can go ahead and add that. I'm going to do the same now to index, my login, and register. So let's set it for index. So this will now be called Taskly. My login, we can just simply put this as my login. That's fine. And register, set there. Okay, so that will look a lot nicer and a bit more professional. Okay, so let's actually test it out and see if it changed. Okay, create task, view tasks, log out. Taskly, register, good. Login, my login. Great, okay, perfect. That looks great. Okay, so let's actually go ahead and log in. And we still have some more to do. So what we want to do now is, once we've logged in, go to view tasks. And as you'll see here, we have links here for updating and deleting a task. Okay, now this isn't great, okay? So what we want to do is we just want to add buttons here. So we just want to actually change the link. So we can actually reuse what we have from base.html here. So this link here. I'm just going to open view tasks. And let's have a look here what we have. Update and delete. Okay, we can just copy this link here. So you can go to base.html and just copy this tag here. So this link, which is actually a button. All right, and you'll see here, we're just going to switch around here. So we're going to say update task. Okay, and our URL, we'll need to take this, the whole thing, just like that. And we can, for now, just leave it like that. Perfect. And for delete task, we do the same thing. We move it here and we can just change what we have. Okay, so this is what I meant. It's very important. Okay, in code to learn to reuse, so you don't have to reinvent the wheel, as I've said several times. Okay, there we go. There we go. So now we have update task and delete task. Now I want to change the colors here because it's now looking a bit crazy. So I want to set this, let's see what info looks like. So we have info. Okay, info is blue. That's going to look nice. So we can just simply say button info. I don't want the outline. There we go. And delete task. Let's see what info we can switch it to. Okay, we have primary info danger alert. Yeah, let's see what alert looks like. I think it's alert. Yeah, alert seems to be white. Danger would be good. Danger for delete. That means user logout would just need to be different. So we can switch that here. So user logout, appropriate one would be, okay, we can say primary outline. Or we can say primary without the outline. That would be fine. Okay, so now we have a bit of navigation. It's looking a bit nicer, as we can see. So we can see our buttons are looking great. So if we go to delete task, okay, great. So we have a bit of consistency here. Now, something else we need to change here, we just want to fix. So we have submit, and in some cases, we have delete. So we want to just make these fine changes, okay? So let's start off with create task. So these things are really important. So it's always the small details that count. They're not very hard, but you know, it's important to, you know, focus on the small details as well. Okay, create task. Okay, update task. I'm gonna go to update. We're just changing the value of our submit button. Okay, that's good. Delete task. Okay, I just want to say delete task. Okay. Perfect. Okay, go back. That's fine. We don't want to have buttons everywhere, so we can keep that as a link. Okay, that's great. All right, create task, dashboard, log out. Good. Register, log in. Okay, log in needs to be fixed. Let's now do that. So let's go to my login. And we can switch this over to login. See? Okay, that's good. Now register. Okay, register would be the last one. Okay, so now all of our submit buttons now actually, they make sense now. So we can switch this to register. There we go. Great, so that's looking good. Okay, so something I've noticed as we're looking here. Okay, so what happens, if you're wondering, if we go on the register page, and what happens if a user already has, for example, an account? Okay, and they accidentally clicked it. What are they going to do? They're going to have to go back and to log in. I mean, this doesn't help with user friendliness. So we want to sort this out. Right, so we can simply open register and login. Okay, so what we can do is we can simply put in a link, okay? So that link will redirect us between my login and register.html. Now, we don't have a link here at the moment, but we can, of course, reuse a link that we have from, I believe, delete task. Okay, we have one here, that's to go back. And we just need something very simple. So under register, we can put this under submit. So I'm going to put just a line break here. And this will redirect us to my login. Okay, and I'm going to call it already have an account. Login. Okay, so let's see how this will look. Okay, so it says here already have an account, so we can. The actual right way of doing this, okay, would be to just simply have our paragraph tag here. And I'll show you what I mean. So we're going to have text here saying already have an account. Okay, and then what we can do within our paragraph tag, we can put in our link. Okay. And we can switch this and just say log in as our link here. So if we refresh, we can see here already have an account login. What we can do then is just add a bit of a breakpoint here. Add some more space. So we can see, yeah, that looks a lot better. So we'll have a question here, already have an account, a login. Okay, we can maybe say go one back. Let's do that. Okay, great. So that would move us back here if there were any issues. Great, so we can do the exact same thing. We can copy this logic and move it over to my login. Okay, we had 2 breakpoints here. And this will be don't have an account. Don't have an account. Register, with our route being register here. Okay, that's great. Now I've noticed that the break points here are a bit crazy for username, and yeah, that's okay. So the breakpoints are a bit extreme here. Okay, that's okay. So I just wanted to clear that up a bit. Okay, that's fine. So of course you can adjust it any way that you want. So now we at least have a bit of leeway here when changing between our 2 pages. Okay, great. So let's go back. And now you can see I'm going back to the home page, and this begs the next question. What if we're in a situation where the user wants to go back to the home page? Now we can go to login and register, but we want to go back to our home page. So we can simply go ahead and create a small sort of navigation bar that will take us back to the home page, which is Taskly. So let's go ahead and do that. All right. So good standards, of course, would be to go ahead and, since we're going to be reusing code, we would go ahead and just create another file to perform template inheritance. So we can go ahead and do this. So under templates, I'm going to create a new file. I'm going to call it prebase.html. Okay, so prebase, okay, is going to be similar to base. Okay, but prebase is going to only deal with the files that we have here. But thinking of that, it would be a good thing before we do that to move base.html now into profile, since it's associated with our profile file, since that will make more sense. So we can go ahead and do that. Now we will have an error, which we'll fix here. Okay. Now we would need to make sure that we just adjust the path for base. So at the moment, it's seen to be in the root directory, but we'll now move it to profile. So we can go ahead and do that. So do that. So now it's here. Now we just need to say where it is. So here on the create task, we can start doing it. We need to say profile /base.html. So we're saying, hey, I want you to look for base in the profile folder in the base directory of templates just here. So we're doing that just for all of them. So we can actually just copy and paste this. And we can just move them where it should be. Okay, so you can just go ahead and where you see base, you can just replace it with profile /base. Okay, just like so. So we can check this out to see if it's okay. So let's see if it's working. Perfect, so it's working there fine. Okay, let's log out. Good. Okay, so now that is sorted. So now let's deal with the main thing here. So we have now prebase here. Okay, and prebase, okay, you can give it any name that you want. A very good and appropriate name to call this is navbar, okay, because this is very important, especially if you're dealing with front-end frameworks. You can go ahead and call it navbar if you want. I'm just calling it prebase, but you can call it anything that you want. Now here I'm going to create a navigation bar, but it's going to be very short. So I'm just going to, of course, reuse a bit from here, from just the top of our navbar, just actually this part. And I'm going to just move it over like this and close the navbar, of course. Now I'm just going to add this now to my login and register.html. Okay, and we of course know the code here in create task. We can just take the include template and we can just go ahead and just put it above here. And this will be pre-base, which is in the root directory, so we can just leave it like that. And register, we can put it just here. So you can put it where it's appropriate. Okay, there we go. Now let's see our navigation bar now. So if we go to register, there we go. And let's go to login, there we go. Okay, now the point is we want to actually click on Taskly to actually go back to the main page of Taskly. So what we can do here in pre-base, we can simply go ahead and add a href tag here. So I'm going to say href, and I'm going to put in tags here, URL, empty string, and just like that. Okay, so now if I refresh and I click on Taskly, it's going to take me back to the home page. So now our users at least have a decent user experience. It's not like the most amazing thing ever, but there is some basis here that makes sense. So we can redirect appropriately throughout our web application and everything is clean for us. So as we can see here, to sum up, so we can now register our users. They can now log in with their account. If for some reason they want to go back to the home page, they're able to click here on Taskly to go back. And if they don't have an account and they forgot to register it, they can register here. They can, of course, go ahead and log in. They can see their dashboard here. They can go ahead and create a new task. They can view all of their tasks. They can update their task. They can go back and delete the task. Now, the thing we can also add here for update task, instead of going to view tasks here, we can also add go back. So we can reuse that from delete, actually. So we can go to update task and delete task. And we can just take away this link here. And we can just put it where would be appropriate, just here. Let's set that there. That would actually be above. We would need to put it below. Okay, let's just fix that there. Okay, now let's see if we update a task. Okay, so we can now go back. Okay, I put go back above, so we can put it above then. Okay, let's put it there. So don't mind me just making these changes here. You can decide as you want, but I just want to make the experience as, yeah, you know, it actually looks worse. It should be at the bottom, I think. I didn't think it would look as bad. Yeah, okay, that's fine. So now we can also choose to go back if we please. Okay, I can just remove that breakpoint. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so now we can see update is fine. We can update the task or go back. We can delete our task or go back. And for consistency, we can just simply move this below, actually. Okay, so now we have some consistency. We may need to just alter a bit here. Okay, until it's right. Let's see, update. Yeah, that looks okay. We can maybe take away some spaces. Okay, I'm not going to go into finer details here. I don't want to bore you guys, but you can go back on deleting and updating your tasks. Okay, just like so. We can also in view tasks, actually, we can just make our content here for the title. Now, if you have these tags here, you can also go ahead and simply you know, just put in your rendered data here within tags as well, H3 tags or whichever you prefer. So let's just make this a bit nicer. Okay, there we go. So now we can now see that everything's working greatly. Okay, perfect. Okay, so this was of course a very simple web application that we created. So just a very normal task manager, and of course this taught you everything from creating, reading, updating and deleting tasks, use authentication, registering a user, how to log out, and so on. So of course this is the end of creating a basic task manager application, because that was our goal. But I will carry on updating videos on a daily basis, more on Django, and we're going to still use our Taskly application, and we're going to learn new things along the way. So there's other things that I want to teach you guys. Okay, but that's it. I hope it was fun and you learned a lot. So now you really know the basics here of CRUD at least. Okay, but we will carry on, and there will be more things that I've got to teach you, because there's a lot in Django to master as a beginner. But if you come this far, you've really learned a lot, and well done for getting so far. Okay, so that's it, and thank you again.